Hey guys, it's Dustin. It's summertime and it is hot out there. If you're like me, you're bringing an extra shirt to every wedding just in case. The high temps are not great on our gear either. In this video, I'm gonna go over a few tips to keep your cameras running smoothly in the heat, and if something does start smoking and shuts down on you, I'll give you a tip at the end that just might help you save your job. Let's get into it. Okay, if your camera's gonna overheat, it's probably gonna happen during the ceremony, where you have to film long takes and you can't always escape the sun. Here's my setup. I run 3 cameras at every ceremony. 2 A7S IIIs, one in my hand and one on sticks, and an A1 is my C camera. The A7S IIIs have never overheated on me, like not even in 104 degrees in Fresno. But the A1 is absolute trash in the heat. If there's any shade around, this camera has to be in it. Like maybe I'll put a long lens on it so that I can tuck it way back in the trees. Remember, we don't always have to have the exact same camera setup for each ceremony. As long as your backup cameras are actually running and recording something useful, you're set. I like to keep these portable shades with me at all my summer weddings. They fold up pretty small and create enough shade to cover the entire camera. I just clamp it to the tripod and bend it in place. They're a little flimsy, so they're not great in the wind, but they've kept my camera rolling on hot days when there's no breeze. There's a few different options out there for camera shading, and I'll put the links in the description below. Shade or not, I always pop the screen out for more airflow. If you didn't already know, the spot on the back of your mirrorless camera behind the screen is kind of the hot spot where all the circuitry is, so any airflow that you can get in there is going to help cool your camera down. You might have seen those handy fans that connect to the back of your camera on Amazon. I think Small Rig makes them, I'll put a link, but I can't use them because this super expensive A1 only has a tilt screen, so there's no way to get a fan in there. Airflow is key, so check out those fans. They might be a good solution for you if you can partake. This tip should be obvious, but try to keep your camera bag out of the sun. You don't need your bag turning into a little oven for all your gear. Anyways, your camera is a computer. The more it has to process, the hotter it's gonna get. And if you're in danger of overheating, strip it down to make it as easy for the camera to do its job as possible. Cut out all the other bells and whistles. That means no Wi-Fi, no Bluetooth, even turn off the image stabilization if you can get away with it. If you've got an Atomos Ninja or another external monitor that also records, that can be a great way to keep your camera cool as well. By offloading the recording function to the monitor, the camera doesn't have to work as hard to process the image. I don't love the monitor solution just because there's no backup recording happening at the same time, and I'm pretty paranoid about my backups, especially when I'm filming by myself. Plus the file sizes are usually gigantic, way more than we need for a wedding. Which reminds me, use quality camera media. I always record simultaneously to 2 SD cards in my camera. They're V90 UHS-2 cards with a super fast read-write speed. The reason for that is, with slower cards, your camera's gonna struggle with its buffer to record onto that media. And anytime your camera has to struggle, it means more heat, or at the very least, more battery drain. On that note, remember to have enough batteries. I always start every ceremony with a fresh, fully charged battery in each camera, so I don't have to worry about losing power. Unless it's like a 2.5-hour ceremony, 1 battery in each camera is usually enough. And if you're like me and you've been running the same gear for like 5 years now, make sure you buy some fresh batteries once in a while. Those old used batteries are not gonna hold a charge as well, and they will run out of power faster. It's tricky in the heat, especially when you're filming solo. Odds are, if one of your cameras is gonna overheat, it'll be the one that you can't get to because you're filming by yourself. If you do know you have a camera that's gonna overheat, say I'm stuck with putting my A1 in the full sunshine for the ceremony, I'll try to put it someplace where I can access it in the middle of the ceremony without sacrificing my other shots. If it looks like it's overheating, I'll stop recording and turn the camera off. Once a camera overheats, you're not even guaranteed that you'll be able to save the shot that it was recording in the first place, so I don't want it to be a complete waste. Then, if I can get back to the camera before the end of the ceremony, I'll give it a few minutes to cool off and try recording again. It's always better to come away with something than risk having nothing because you couldn't get to your own gear. Despite all our efforts, cameras will overheat once in a while. If it happens to your A camera during a critical moment in the ceremony, don't panic. Reach in your pocket and grab your phone. And yes, I'm dead serious. We can always defend a videographer who tried everything they could to get the shot, and a phone clip is better than nothing. I keep my phone camera set to 4K 24p, and let's be honest, it looks pretty damn good. Don't try to do anything fancy, just tap it quick and open up the camera. Shoot with the 1x lens and make sure you're shooting sideways. If you do miss a critical shot, like the bride walking down the aisle with her dad, don't be afraid to recreate the moment. After the ceremony, go up to the bride and her father and say, "Hey, can I borrow you 2 for a minute? I want to get a couple of insert shots for the story." If they ask, don't tell them your camera failed. Just let them know that you wanted to get a couple of extra insert shots that you weren't able to get filming by yourself earlier. That's a true statement. Start by filming the bride and her dad walking towards the aisle, but make sure you crop in tight. We don't want to see any of the empty chairs. Make sure you get some shots of them looking at each other and smiling, and then have them both smile at the chairs. They'll feel a little ridiculous, but just let them know it's going to look great in the video. Next, get the groom and put him up at the altar. Get a couple of super close-ups of him smiling at where the bride would have been walking down the aisle, and then maybe looking around at the crowd a little bit. Boom, you're done. That, combined with whatever your B and C cameras are, is probably all we need to recreate the moment of her walking down the aisle. Remember, your only chance to fix a missed shot is on the wedding day, so don't leave knowing you could have just recreated it. All right, that's what I got. Hopefully some of these tips will help you avoid any major issues this summer. If there's any tricks I didn't mention, please be sure to leave them in the comments. Oh, one other super important piece of kit, this bad boy. Stays in my bag all summer long. I'd rather be completely forgettable than remembered as the smelly guy on your wedding day. All right guys, thanks for watching. I'll be in touch again soon with more tips for your next wedding video.